Spruce Grove is one of the fastest growing cities in the entire Edmonton region. It added thousands of people in just the last couple of years. But here's what's interesting. In 2026, the market here settled into one of the most balanced, buyer-friendly stretches it's been in for years. So what's it really like to live in Spruce Grove right now? And is this the window to buy? Let me give you the honest breakdown. Hi, I'm Nathan Richter, a licensed real estate agent serving St. Albert and the greater Edmonton area. I've spent 25 years on the construction side of real estate, so when I talk about what living in Spruce Grove is actually like in 2026, I'm bringing both the agent's lens and the builder's lens to the conversation. Let's get into it. Here's the plan. I'll walk you through what actually matters when you're deciding on Spruce Grove, the growth, the recreation, the schools, the housing market, the commute, with the 2026 numbers behind each one. And as a builder, I'll flag where the value is right now and what to watch for if you're buying. Let's start with why everyone's moving here in the first place. Start with the growth, because it's the headline. Spruce Grove's last municipal census put the city just under 39,000 people, and the provincial estimate for 2025 has it up around 44 to 45,000, which makes it one of the larger cities in Alberta and one of the fastest growing in the whole Edmonton region, growing more than 4% in a single year. Rewind to 2021 and the city was around 37,500. So in just a few years, Spruce Grove has added thousands of residents. And why does that matter to you as a buyer? Two reasons. One, a growing city is a city where demand and home values tend to hold and climb over time. Two, that growth pulls in services, retail, and amenities to match, so the city keeps getting more livable, not less. This isn't a town that's stalling, it's one that's filling in. For a city its size, Spruce Grove is genuinely loaded on the recreation side. This is one of its real selling points. The centerpiece is the Egg Arena, the city's arena complex, home to the Grant Fuhr Arena and the Stu Barnes Arena. Yes, named after the NHL players, because this is a hockey town. State-of-the-art ice in winter that converts to dryland space in summer, and a hub for organized sport for every age. And as of 2025, the recreation map got a major upgrade on the west side. Heavy Metal Place off Westwind Drive is the single largest project the city has ever built, a roughly $73 million complex with 2 ice services, including a spectator arena that seats around 1,400 and is home to the Spruce Grove Saints. The Thompson Family Arena anchors the building, and under the same roof, you've got a new public library branch, an art gallery, and a black box theater with the city's new transit center and park and ride right next door. For a city this size, that's a serious bet on quality of life. Then there's the TransAlta Tri-Leisure Center, and this is a big one. A regional facility with pools, fitness, classes, courts, and programs for all ages and levels. It's the kind of amenity a lot of bigger cities don't have under one roof. On top of that, you've got golf courses on the outskirts and a deep bench of parks. Central Park with its first come, first served fire pit, and Heritage Grove Park with all-weather trails that thread between the neighborhoods. The public library anchors the arts and events side, and runs a farmer's market every Saturday from spring through December. The takeaway? This is a city built around families and being active. If that's your life, Spruce Grove punches well above its size. Schools are a major reason families pick the Tri-region, and the choice here is genuinely deep. Across Spruce Grove, Stony Plain, and Parkland County, you've got somewhere around 20 plus schools, public, Catholic, Christian, and independent options. So you're choosing the right fit, not settling for the only option. Both the public and the Evergreen Catholic divisions run strong programs with the full range of academics and extracurriculars. And it doesn't stop at K through 12. College and university students can commute into Edmonton's major post-secondaries. The University of Alberta, NAIT, MacEwan, and others on regional transit, so a family can put down roots out here without the kids being cut off from higher education. For a lot of the families I talk to, that combination, strong local schools plus easy post-secondary access, is what tips the decision. Now the part most of you came for, housing. And the 2026 numbers tell a really specific story. So let me give them to you straight, fresh off the May 2026 release from the Realtors Association of Edmonton. As of May 2026, the average sale price in Spruce Grove was about $476,000. And after months of softening, that's actually up about 3% year over year, the first real positive turn in a while. Condos and apartments are still sitting in the low 200s, so there's a genuine entry point here. Homes are taking around 55 days to sell now, up from last year, and the ask to sell ratio is about 99%, meaning homes are closing just under asking. Translate all of that, after a couple of red hot years, Spruce Grove in 2026 has shifted into a balanced, buyer-friendly market. Healthy inventory, more choice, more room to negotiate, and more time to make a decision without getting steamrolled. If you've been waiting for leverage, this is the most you've had in a while. The builder's eye angle is the new construction segment. And this is where it gets interesting. New builds in Spruce Grove averaged about $534,000 in May 2026, down a couple percent from last year. And they're taking a lot longer to sell, around 72 days, which means builders are negotiating. For a buyer, a softening new build market can be the single best value in the whole region because you're getting a brand new, warranted home with modern efficiency at a discount to last year's pricing. The communities to know for newer construction are the ones on the growth edges, places like Greenbury, Prescott, Fenwick, Harvest Ridge, and Jesperdale. If you're looking at new builds out there, the which builder, which lot conversation is exactly where I can save you money and headaches. Quick aside, since the market's actually in buyer's favor out here right now, this is a good time to know exactly where to look. I put together a Spruce Grove and Tri-Region community guide, which neighborhoods suit families, first-time buyers, and commuters, where the newer construction is, and which builders are worth your time. Just drop the word Grove in the comments below or reach me through any of the contact options in the description, text, email, or give me a call and I'll send it over. Matching people to the right community is the part I genuinely enjoy. One of Spruce Grove's quiet strengths is that you genuinely don't have to leave it for daily life. Groceries, big box retail, the Home Depot and the like, a solid mix of chain and locally owned restaurants, medical, a movie night at the Landmark Cinema, it's all right there. You're not driving 30 minutes for the basics. And when you do want the big city stuff, it's close. West Edmonton Mall is about 15 to 20 minute drive. Downtown Edmonton is roughly a 30-minute commute on Highway 16. Only a few minutes more than communities that sit closer in, but you're getting more space and a more relaxed pace for it. That's the actual trade Spruce Grove offers, suburban room and quiet without giving up access. For a lot of families and commuters, that's the sweet spot. A small thing that tells you something bigger, Spruce Grove offers free public Wi-Fi in a bunch of its community spaces. Places like Fuhr Sports Park, the Rotary Playscape, the Egg Arena, and Central Park. On its own, minor, but it's the kind of detail that signals a city actively investing in everyday quality of life for residents. And those are exactly the cities that tend to keep getting better to live in over time. Weather. And I'll give you the real numbers. Spruce Grove has a humid, continental climate, real winters, warm summers. A typical January afternoon sits around -6 to -10 with cold snaps that can hit -30 and colder with the wind chill, generally for a week or two, sometimes even longer. Summers are warm and bright. July highs in the mid-20s, occasionally pushing into the 30s with long daylight hours. So yes, bundle up for winter. It is genuine. But here's my builder's tip, and it matters more than people realize. A properly built and sealed home here is comfortable at -30. An older, leaky one is sometimes miserable. That difference is something you can actually check before you buy, and it's exactly the kind of thing I look at on a walkthrough. Location-wise, Spruce Grove sits just west of Edmonton, about 30 kilometers from downtown. It's close to the geographic center of the province, which is a fun fact, but the practical part is this. You're far enough out to get the space, the quiet, and the lower price point, and close enough that the city is a straightforward commute on Highway 16 or Highway 16A. That's the whole pitch of the west side. You're not isolated, You're connected to everything Edmonton offers. You've just chosen to live somewhere a little calmer with a bit more house for your money. In the regional transit for commuters on top of the highway access, you're not locked into driving for every single trip. Before you fall in love with it, a few honest things to weigh because they're real. 1, it's a commuter city. 30 minutes to downtown is fair, but if you or your partner work in central or south Edmonton, that's an hour plus round trip most days and even longer. Drive it at rush hour before you commit. It can be up to an hour sometimes as there is a lot of traffic, but make sure the commute fits your life, not just your budget. 2, like most of the west side, Spruce Grove is car oriented. Transit exists and it's improving, but plan for a vehicle, ideally one per working adult. 3, the 2026 market is balanced, which is great news for buyers, but it also means you don't want to overpay. Homes are taking longer to sell and closing under asking for the most part, so the days of panic buying over list are just about gone. Take your time, get the inspection, and use the leverage the market is actually giving you right now. None of those are deal breakers. They're just the difference between buying Spruce Grove well and buying it blind. And getting that right is exactly what I'm here for. If you're thinking about a move to Spruce Grove or the Tri-Region in the next 6 to 12 months or sooner and want a real conversation about whether it's the right fit and how to use this buyer-friendly market properly, text, email, or give me a call. All my contact info is in the description. And don't forget to drop Grove in the comments if you want that community guide. And if this video was useful, like and subscribe. We drop new videos every week. See you in the next one.